YouTube. How you doing? It is Laura, and I am bringing you yet another fun What Sold on Whatnot video today. Yay! Okay, so I just did my morning show. It's Thursday, September 28th. Just did my morning show. It went better than I expected. I wasn't super confident about my show today, about the inventory that I had, so it did decently considering. I did $233 for 14 items, so an average of $16.64 per item. I did not do that math in my head. I used a calculator before I started this video. Obviously, and that's just the sold prices, not counting cost of inventory and whatever. So I was on for about 2 hours. Hi, bud. My friend is coming up to say hello to me. So I'm going to go through everything. I will probably do another show this evening. I've been experimenting with doing some nighttime shows, same day, same inventory as the morning show. It helped once. It did not really help the second time. We'll see how the third time goes. So, let me get going with wrapping some stuff up. Okay, number one. Oh, this is such a good one. Such a good one. Is this 70s dress? Here she is. I can't even show you how good this is because it just doesn't sit on a hanger well. But it's got this fantastic neckline, right? So it like sits basically like this, and then these straps cross over like this. It kind of does that. It's gorgeous. I'm like looking all over except at the actual camera lens because I've got it together. Got my life together. This sold for 25 bucks. So it's good. This brand is really interesting. It is Joy Stevens. When I looked this up on Etsy, I looked the brand up on Etsy, and there was a ton of stuff where there were items selling at like really high prices. One was just a black slip dress for 900 bucks, which actually one of the folks in the Whatnot show suggested maybe she meant like $90 and not 900. Maybe it was a typo. And I was like, that makes sense. But there were other pieces by this designer that were higher priced, but like they were extraordinary dresses. They were gorgeous. And then I think a bunch of people just used those prices and said, oh, it's the same brand, so obviously it should sell for $1 bajillion. I do think this dress would have been like a good like $79, $99 dress on Etsy. I probably would have done it at $79, including the shipping. I sold it for $25 on Whatnot, and then the buyer pays the shipping for that. So, let's see. So I feel like that was a good, great buy for her. I made money on it. I don't remember what I spent on this dress. I'm probably not going to remember a whole lot. It was under 10 bucks, but I don't remember exactly. So I can't fold this in a way that makes me happy. Trying. But it's not going well. I did consider just kind of holding everything up and not doing all the folding with you on camera, but look. It's just, I can't. If I'm going to do what sold videos, I'm going to also be actually doing my shipping work while I do the video. So, 2 birds, 1 stone. There's got to be a better phrase than 2 birds, 1 stone, right? Like, I don't want to kill birds, honestly. I like to leave the birds alone. Okay, that was a repeat customer for me, so she's purchased from me previously. That was the only item she purchased. The next person is also a repeat customer and has purchased 3 items today. Let's see what they were. All right, so this first one is just a cute little novelty print tank. I've had this up on Depop for a while, and I went and pulled a couple pieces from Depop today because they've been sitting for a long time. Depop is not super active for me, and I wanted to infuse my Whatnot show with a couple more fun pieces today. So this sold for, I think, 10. Yep. And I forget what I've had it on Depop for. I want to say 29. Could be 39. I don't know. But this was 10. And in fact, here's the thing. So I want to say, like, I'll go back later and remove these from Depop. And then I won't. I mean, I probably could rely on myself to do it, but I'm not positive. So let's just see if I can do it now. Oh no, never mind, I can't, because it's like way down in the, I have to search for it. And that's hard to do on Depop. They don't make it easy. So I do have her little poly mailer that she was being stored in that I will use. Take your little inventory number out. Get you put, oh, actually, let me see. Yeah, she actually bought multiple things. What am I doing? I'm not coherent at the moment. Okay, so she got that little bicycle tank. Then she got this fun, I'm calling it a string vest. I mean, it is a string vest. That's what it's called. This was also 10 bucks. Where'd you go? These things are so cool, like 90s Y2K. This is cotton. I don't know why I like these so much. I just do. I like them a lot. So I'm gonna put this one. This will also fit in that poly mailer. I think everything she purchased today is gonna fit, so that's nice. Let's get this folded up. Skibbs, I've got your hair everywhere, my friend. My kitty friend. All right, that one. And then the third item is a pair of leggings from the 90s. These are LL Bean, stretchy, and these sold also for $10. So nice little 3 items, 10 bucks each. Not bad. And it's good to move some stale inventory. One of the things, like, I've always had this philosophy on my inventory that, like, once it's listed on Etsy or eBay or Depop, that I will let it sit until the end of time because things sell eventually. And I still basically believe that that's true. However, I saw a TikTok this week about Poshmark. Now, I don't sell on Poshmark anymore, but I'm sure that what's happening there is not super different to what's happening in other places. So in the past on Poshmark, you know, if you're familiar with Poshmark as a seller, you know that you've always had to, like, share your closet. So you have to go in, and essentially what you're doing is you're opening up your listing to edit it and then saving it. You don't have to necessarily make an edit, but the act of, like, going in to make those edits is seen as activity on the app and for your item, and so it will kind of bump the item back to the top of searches. If you don't do that, it's seen as like it's been sitting for 2 weeks with nothing going on, and, you know, it's lower in search. So Depop is similar to that. Whatever, that doesn't matter. That's how Poshmark worked. At a certain point, Poshmark came out with a feature where you could copy a listing. And so what people would do is they would take their listing that they've had up for 3 months or whatever, they would copy it and then make some tweaks maybe, and then save it. So it would be recognized as a new listing, and then they would then delete the original copy. So now it looks like it's a new item. Now Poshmark, and now there's like all sorts of bots that will do all that crap for you, right? But now Poshmark has tweaked their system so they can recognize when something is actually a fresh new listing versus if it's a listing that you've copied. And it goes beyond just whether or not you've used the copy function. Like, it's looking at other elements, your title, your photos, things like that. And so it knows, like, you're not fooling anyone essentially by, like, popping up like a new version of the same old listing. I'm not surprised that it's able to do this. I am not surprised, or would not be surprised, if other platforms are doing this. And so with that in mind, I'm like, oh yeah. So as it was before, if I put something up on Etsy 3 years ago, I already knew that the fact that it's been sitting there for 3 years, Etsy is going to push that lower and lower in search, especially if people come and visit the listing, don't purchase, and bounce. They treat it a little bit differently. They treat it the same way as, like, so if I was a crafter and I make little clothespin reindeers, and so you buy one and then that listing just repopulates because, you know, I use the same listing and it refreshes over and over. If people are going into that and not buying, all the time, I can see where like that would count against you, because it's like a lot of people keep visiting this, but nobody's interested in your clothespin reindeer, right? But vintage items are different, and especially vintage clothing items. It's one particular size. It potentially has flaws. It is a one-of-a-kind item. And so I can't recreate it. Like, it is what it is. And often that means that you have to find the right buyer. So there may be a lot of people who come into that listing and look at it and realize that's not my size. It has a flaw that I don't want to deal with, all that stuff, right? So I feel like it's more common for people to go into a vintage item listing, not make a purchase, and leave. I don't know exactly how all of that plays into your visibility and search and things, but now not only does it go against you if something's been sitting there for 2 years, 5 years, whatever, but if I can't even copy it, make a couple tweaks, and then let that stand as a new listing and delete the stale one, if they're even going to start recognizing that that's, oh, you're faking it, right? That means that I am more now motivated to try and get rid of some of my really stale inventory by moving it in other ways. It's one of the things that Whatnot's been good for me with, because it is encouraging me to, it's not encouraging me, I'm able to reevaluate some of my pricing and let some things go at lower prices than I've been able to in the past. So it was a lot of talking, I'm sorry. This next customer also ordered 3 items, also a repeat customer. So this was a nice day for repeat customers. She got this sweater, which I want to say was 15. Let's see. Yes, I want to say, and I am correct. Little wool sweater, adorable. So let me fold this baby up. I really need to order myself more poly mailers, because Whatnot is causing me to run through so many of my larger ones, especially with sweater season among us, upon us, something. It's sweater season. Oh my gosh, Skibbins. I swear to God. I feel like once I'm shipping something out, all of a sudden there's like 800 cat hairs floating around that did not exist previously. All right, there we go. Sweater. The second item that she purchased was a really sweet little 70s floral sundress, also 15 bucks. So cute. I like this one. This was her first show, I think. So yeah, not a repeat item. That sweater's been in a couple of shows. But again, those are lessons that I'm learning. She's a repeat customer, and that sweater's been in some shows, and she still purchased it. So I definitely get way into my own head about, like, you know, it's like a perception I have that every single person coming to my shows has been to all my shows before. They've seen everything that I've had in every show. Is definitely not accurate. Let's see, 15. All right, so, and then this dress, so cute. Little 70s sort of sheer floral disco dress, also sold for 15, so that was super fun. And I love this. Also first fresh item for Whatnot today. So let's see. Folding her up to be pretty. Not going very well so far, I'll be honest. I don't really have enough space on my table to do all the things that I am trying to do while I am folding this inventory. And yet every week I still go through all this. All right, let's see. That was very poorly folded, but we'll hide it with the other things. You can hide between the sweater and the other dress. There she goes. Let's get a nice fat little poly mailer. That's not it. Is this one of the fat ones? Yes. Okay. Let's see. Sticking together so much. Alrighty, let's go, friends. Here's your little poly mailer bag. Okay, there we go. sorry, I jostled you a little bit. My apologies. All right, next up, another repeat customer also bought 3 items from me. So it's a nice little trend for the week. The first item she spent $5 on. It's this cute little nightie. Adorable. Also been in a couple of shows. So again, I have a repeat customer who's making a purchase of something that has actually been in more than one show. I just have to get out of my head about thinking that just because something's been in one show previously, that, you know, anybody coming into my show to see it this week is going to be like, oh my God, she has the same old crap again. It's the same stuff she had last week. We don't want to deal with it. Whatever, you know, that's just not how it goes. And I've been trying to like get myself out of that headspace by reminding myself that I get a lot of new customers. But this is a good reminder that even repeat customers, don't go to every single show. They have not seen everything that I have to offer. So, you know, what am I doing? That's 1 item out of 3, number 1. Number 2 is an item that I had on Depop. I don't remember. I think I started this at 20 on Whatnot. I think I had it up at 60 on Depop. It sold for 22, so it had a little bit of back and forth bidding. Nothing insane, but you know, it's always nice. I'll take any of it. Let's see. So now I got to try and fold this back up again. This was a project and a half when I did it the first time. Also, Skibbs has graced me with some hairs. So there we go. I'm gonna have to roll that sucker down. Let go. He's a beautiful boy, but he's definitely got some hair. All right, let's see. I have these lint rolly guys. I used to always get the Evercare ones that, you know, you can usually find in Target, wherever, Amazon. And of course there's 700 versions. There's like the extra strength and the super extra strength and the mega ultra extra super strength. But there was one point where I was just like financially just like struggling, and it was one of those weeks where I was like, well, I really need more lint rollers, but I also have to pay my whatever bill that month. And I was like, I kind of got to wait until I get a deposit. And so my friend sent me a whole bunch of lint rollers in the mail because she's an angel. And they were IKEA. And I really like them a lot. They do such a good job. They are less expensive, and they work well. They're good. But I did try to order refills from Amazon for them, and I will never do that again. They said they were compatible, and then when I received them, they were definitely not compatible. It would just like pop right off the whole holder. So I do recommend the IKEA lint rollers. They're great. But also the other thing that I was hating about the Evercare was it was almost impossible to just get refills. Like everything, it was like a set of 3, so it'd be 1 with a handle and 2 refills. It's like, I've got like 8 handles. It's like, you're making me buy things and throw these handles away for no reason. And IKEA just has like straight up refills. It's amazing. So if you decide to go for them, I definitely say get them straight from IKEA, because Amazon is a dumpster fire. So not surprising news to anyone. I always knew that like you can be taking a risk for stuff on Amazon, like it's whatever, it's can be complete crap. But one of the things that was eye-opening for me about the ways in which they can be crap is when people were trying to order masks during the pandemic, and you were finally at a point where you could order like N95s or the KN95s and all that stuff. So there were certain brands, like 3M had some good brands out, and people were ordering them off of Amazon and getting them and realizing that they were fakes. You know, not the same quality, the construction was crappy, they didn't fit well, they were too thin, all this kind of stuff. And so it really made me recognize, like, oh yeah, that happens too. And it's like, it's stupid that that happened with like IKEA lint rollers. I think it just says like, yeah, it's compatible, and it's kind of not, you know, it doesn't really fit the thing. Anyway, next sold item for this same customer who bought the coveralls and the little nightie is this t-shirt. I think, yeah, sold for 10. It's an 80s New York City Central Park t-shirt. You know, the whole single seam stitching and all that. Super fun. I just gotta, once again, put my little IKEA lint roller to work. So, love that. Literally throwing the used pieces directly on the floor. Giving myself some more work to do later, because why not? So when I do these videos and I go off on my little tangents, you guys wish I would shut the fuck up and just do this, what sold, and not go on tangents? Or do you not mind the tangents? I'm never sure. I started watching another YouTube channel recently with a woman who is also an Etsy seller. She sells handmade items, not vintage, but I really enjoy her content. She's very educational. And it's like, she's done some videos that like, oh, are you having a hard time making sales on Etsy? Here's some things you can do. But it's actual stuff that's like good ideas, things you can do, you know? And I wish I could remember her name right now. I can't. I literally just found her a day or two ago. But she just sticks herself in front of the camera and talks. And I am totally down to watch the whole thing. So I figure maybe me just blabbering, nope, this was jacked, isn't like totally awful for some people. I enjoy watching some people just sit and talk, so maybe you do too. I don't know. I don't know if I can, I don't feel, I want to use a small poly mailer for this. Oh, maybe I'll do this. I'll put these pieces in the coveralls. It's going to be a little bit of a tight squeeze, so you know you have to like shimmy stuff a little bit. So because this is super slidey, the nightgown, I'm going to stick them in here and see if we can do it this way, because it feels just crazy wasteful to use one of the big ones. It'll fit in here. It's just a little bit of a snug, you know, little smooshy. That's all. We can do it. We can do it. Should have done this the other way. It's getting caught on a seam. There it is. Yay! Yay me. Okay. Next. I've got 4 more packages. So this week, out of, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out of 8 orders, 8 shipments, 8 customers, 2 of them are new. The rest are all repeat customers. That's actually a little unusual for me. I am usually having a higher number of new customers. I'm happy either way, honestly. I like, there's good aspects to both. This person purchased 1 item. It was this skirt. It's an Orvis. And this one was a surprise to me. You know, part of the reason that I got this was because I'm struggling to have enough inventory for my Whatnot show. I really prefer doing the like 70s and earlier as my focus, but that's, unfortunately, there's just not enough available to make that my focus exclusively. So I do have to get 80s, 90s, Y2K. I do like a lot of the Y2K, seriously. But this thing, I knew that people like this, and it was cute, but it's not my normal vibe at all. So I was like, okay, let's see what happens. Maybe it'll sell, whatever, I'll put it on eBay, blah, blah, blah. I had it started, I believe, at $15, and it sold for $36. Like, that's like crazy town for me. That's like a wild Whatnot auction battle for me, for sure. So I was very happy about that. Definitely, you know, will keep my, I mean, I knew that this was like I was aware that people say like, oh, people love the 90s. Like, this is like granny core for those people. I don't consider this granny core because when I think of granny, I think of like my grandma, which were like wearing 70s double knit polyester kind of styles, not 90s school teacher styles. But the kids who made the trend, 90s school teacher. So I knew that it was a popular thing. Like logically, I understood this, but emotionally, I don't connect to it, so I don't get it. So, you know, we'll see. But that was the only item that she purchased. I hope she loves it. It's beautiful. And I'm very excited for her and for me. This next one, this was sort of weird but fun. Another new to me customer bought these tapestry pants. So these look like those 90s tapestry blankets, and it's been a big trend for people to take those blankets and make articles of clothing out of them. There are a lot of people on Instagram that I follow who do this. It's super fun, but I can't tell if these were handmade or not. And I, you know, of course, explained all of that during the video, showed all of the supporting elements, the tag, the stitching, blah, blah, blah. So these sold for $15. Which is good. I did pay, I feel like I paid like 7 or 8 for these. So, you know, it's like not a huge profit, but it was one of those things like I bought them and then I got home and I'm like, why did I do that? Why did I buy these? They're cool, but because I can't tell if they're actually handmade or if they're like fast fashion getting in on it. And by fast fashion, I mean like, you know, Amazon or Shein or whatever. Like they're good quality. But it was weird. The tag is weird. I don't know what's happening. And with doubts like that, I usually just will kind of pass on something. All right, let's see. This next one, repeat customer for me. They purchased this one item. It's this t-shirt, just a little 80s weirdo t-shirt, $5. So not a huge, I probably paid $2 for it. It's not a huge profit margin, barely a profit margin. But I don't, when I put $5 stuff in there, it's not necessarily because of the profit I'm making on that item. It's having the attraction of those cheap items to help bring people in, usually with the hope that they're going to also purchase other items along with it. Obviously, sometimes they don't, and that's cool. She's a repeat customer, so she's purchased from me before. And if that keeps her coming back, then fantastic. The final package, this is my favorite thing. I almost didn't list it because I kind of wanted to keep it, but you know, I want to keep everything. This is a really cute little 2-piece set with these pants. It's not handmade, it seems like it is. I don't know if this is pajamas or loungewear, but it's amazing. I'm gonna actually fold up the pants first. They're kind of halfway there, so that works out well. But just really cute calico, wide leg. The thing is that they were also long enough for me. And that was one of the things that made it hard. They're long enough, the wider leg, I love it, right? But, you know, again, I'm just not living the outside of my apartment life enough to justify keeping these things, really. I have so much stuff that I adore and already don't get opportunity to wear. So, I listed this for $40. That's what it sold for. This is a great customer. She's bought a lot of items from me. She is also a reseller, a vintage seller. I don't know if she intends on reselling this or not. None of my business. So I really wanted to like save this to list it on Etsy, but I could list it on Etsy and it could sit there for 27 years at this point. Etsy's been very slow for me. I'm trying to work on it and get more, whatever. I'm trying to increase the traffic and things like that, but it's very difficult. All right, let's see. I fold that. Okay, fold that up. But this was so cute. Little jacket with the contrast, and oh, it's so cute. I meant to show you the jacket more thoroughly, but it's been in a haul video, so somewhat recently. So whatever. No, yeah. I even made a TikTok about it. If you want to watch me on TikTok, don't watch me on TikTok though. My TikToks are embarrassing. I need to get more content-y over there, but like most of my TikToks are really like ADHD related. And I'm not diagnosed with ADHD, I just feel like I relate to it too much. But I'm trying to get more vintage content on there. Anyway, that's my sales for today. I am going to do another show tonight, so we'll see how that goes. Fingers crossed. And I hope that you enjoyed me babbling a lot. Thank you for watching. Like my video if you liked it. You can dislike it if you want, but you know, why do that? Just don't watch me again. You know, comment. Let me know if I talk too fucking much, which I know I do, but all those things. Anyway, I hope to see you again soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.